I'm 88. I forget that sometimes. Then I say it out loud and it sounds like someone else's number. 88. I worked in the emergency department for 43 years. Nights mostly. St. Agnes first, then Memorial after they closed Agnes in the late 90s. I retired in 2007. I remember because the badge printer jammed when they tried to make my thank you card, and we all laughed longer than the joke deserved. I keep thinking I'll explain why I'm here, but I don't really know. I just turned the camera on and started. There's a sound the ER makes at night. Not alarms. Those are loud. I mean the in-between sound. The low hum of the lights. The wheels of gurneys on tile. Someone coughing behind a curtain. I heard that sound for decades. Now I hear my refrigerator click on and off, and it feels louder than it should. In 1963, I was 27, first year as a registered nurse. A man came in from a car accident on Route 9. His name was Joe. I remember because he kept saying it like we'd forget. Blood everywhere. Gasoline smell. His coat was still wet from the ditch. I held pressure on his leg while the doctor yelled numbers I didn't understand yet. Joe died anyway. I washed my hands for a long time after, longer than needed. Then I went back out and took another patient. That was the job. Something happens, you act, you don't stop, you can't. There's always another bed. I was good at it. Not special, just steady. I could lift people bigger than me. I could find veins in the dark. My hands didn't shake then. They do now, especially in the mornings. I wait for them to settle before I try to button anything. I had 3 children, Caroline, Joyce, and Paul. Caroline first, 1968. I went back to work 6 weeks later. That was normal. Joyce in 71. Paul in 75. I miss things. I know I did. But at the time, it didn't feel like missing. It felt like doing what needed doing. There was a night in 1984. I was 48. A boy came in, maybe 10. Asthma, severe. His mother was crying so hard she couldn't stand. I remember the feel of his ribs under my hands when I tried to help him breathe. Sharp, fragile. We lost him. After, I sat in the supply room on an overturned bucket and stared at the wall. When I got home, the sun was already up. Caroline had a spelling test that morning. I knew. She asked if I'd quiz her. I said later. I slept instead. I keep thinking about that, not because of the test, because she stopped asking after a while. In 1999, Memorial ER, a woman fell in the parking lot, broke her hip. She kept apologizing over and over. I told her it wasn't her fault. I told her falling happens. She asked if it would change her life. I said we'd take care of it. In 2021, I fell in my own kitchen. Same sound, same sharp intake of breath, cold tile on my cheek. I lay there until the pain settled enough that I could think. I didn't call out. I don't know why. I just stayed there, counting the cracks in the grout. After that, I stopped trusting the floor. I move like it might shift under me, even though it never has. I used to tell patients not to be embarrassed. Now I am. Paul took my car keys last year. Not angrily, gently. We were standing in my driveway, October, leaves stuck to the damp concrete. He said, "Mom, let's just talk about this later." He put them in his pocket like they were his. I didn't argue. I watched him drive away in my own car. I keep meaning to tell him how that felt. I don't. The moment passes, like they all do. In 2015, my husband died. Stroke. Sudden. He was fine that morning. Complained about the toast being too dry. By evening, he wasn't speaking. I knew what it meant. I'd seen it too many times. I told the doctor not to explain it to me. Just tell me how long. He didn't answer. The night he died, I went home alone. I didn't sleep in the bed. I sat in the living room with the TV on mute. Every sound in the house felt wrong, like it was coming from the wrong place. Here's the thing I don't say out loud very often. The thing I can't forgive myself for. In 2012, 3 years before my husband's stroke, he'd been feeling tired. Not sick, just tired. He asked me to come to the doctor with him. I said I'd been to 1,000 appointments like that. I said he was fine. I said we'd go if it got worse. It didn't get worse. It ended. I don't explain that to myself anymore. I just let it sit. There are days I forget words, simple ones. I'll be holding the thing and still can't say it. Last week it was colander. I stood there at the sink, water running, pasta getting cold. My mind went blank. I waited. It came back eventually, but in that space, that quiet, I was scared. 2 women I worked with died with dementia. I watched them fade. So when my mind slips, it doesn't feel small. If you're younger and you think you'll notice the moment things change, I didn't. It just kept happening around me. I live alone now. The days are manageable. It's the evenings. The sound changes. The house settles. There's no one to tell small things to, like how the mail came late, or the neighbor's dog got loose again. Sometimes I talk just to hear a voice. I don't like admitting that. I plan things now, papers, folders, instructions. I never thought I'd be the one doing that. I spent years telling families what to do when it was too late. Now I label drawers. I don't know how much longer I'll be here. No one says. They just look at me differently. I didn't come here to say anything important. I just started. If there's one thing, and I almost won't say it, if there's someone you keep meaning to check on, just don't wait too long. I'm tired now. I think I'm done.